to work with what you have. You have to work, if your group is filled with female, you use that, what you have.
Yeah.
And that is what we teach the grouping. If you're given a lot of male, you're given a lot of females, you work with what you have, because the group is as strong as its weakest link. So it's not about speed, it's about ability, what you have. So it's not about, if you start here and you have to complete 15 miles, you have to complete that 15 miles together. You have to plan your meals, you have to cook together, you have to walk together as a team. So you help each other.
Yeah.
You don't look at race, you don't look at that person who can walk the fastest, because you're looking at the slowest person sets the pace. And that is about development in a country. So if your East Indian brother, your African brother or sister is the weakest person in the group, you have to compensate for that person and help that person within that group, because that person automatically sets the pace for that group. So it's not about the strongest person in the group. Is that you focus on that person and you help each other out, because if you run away and leave that person, that group is automatically disqualified.
Yes.
So you have to help out each other.
All right. It's amazing how quickly our time flies, but we still have a little more time left. One of the things you're noted for, and of course, viewers, Guyanese, and we embrace our own, and it's good for us to pay attention to our own. So those of you who are familiar with Allister Collins, you know it's not only Allister Collins, but it's also Allister Collins. It's a twin, and I take some sort of delight in that. And I was explaining to him that I still am not sure who is who if I see one alone. But today I know for sure that I'm speaking with Allister Collins. But both of you, you've been, people see you as leaders, youth leaders, motivational speakers also. And in an era, especially in our country, where we're pushing, not just pushing for young people. I think we've gone past the stage of saying youths are the future, but we're now, all of us, we're now pushing to see young people in various leadership positions, not only as your own group in your community, but even as at the highest office level, even in the various political parties, we're seeing it happening. Apart from the PYARG, how would you say yourself and Allister Collins, would have contributed, and how do you think that it's a goal that we can achieve maybe in another 5 years, in another 10 years, whereby we move away from saying, okay, young people are the future, and we actually see them in leadership, significant leadership roles in our country?
I think with the change of government and the style of governance, I can see that youth in government is more inclusive now.
Okay.
There's a conservative effort to include more young persons, even though a lot of youth from the last election to now feel a little disenfranchised. I think there's a more effort to include, because I'm part of the youth department, and I think one of our issues that we do not publicize much of what is being done behind the scenes, but I think a lot more has been, conservative efforts are being done. And I think, as you rightfully said, you have to change the language of saying youth are the future, and say youth, the future is now, and just allow it to be, and stop treating it as futuristic, because the vigor, the vitality, and I put it this way, I know we're running out of time. When you're a bit mature, as the leaders that we have, you're a bit careful. There's a certain carelessness in youth, full exuberance, that we need.
We need that?
We need,
Okay.
we need the calculative risk of young people. And we also need the management of the older folks. We call it intergenerational dependency. When you're a bit older, you do not climb certain trees, but that's where some of the ripest and best fruits are.
And indeed, you're talking about a risk there, yes.
And that's a risk that the young, fearless youth would climb up that tree so easily they would not even see the dangers. But what is a danger to an older person might not even be a danger to a young person. And the older person would tend to forget when they were younger, they climbed that same tree and enjoy the sweet of the fruit. And that's why we need both. We need that energy and vitality of the youth, and we need the brilliance and guidance of the adults. But we need to create that balance in a safe space without some of the friction. And what we have today is that they have some of the older folks, the guards, who are not letting go, not giving you a chance, even to make that mistake, even to fall. But sometimes the sweetest fruit are the highest
Way
branch,
to the top.
way to
So
the
you
top.
have to keep climbing.
But the older folks cannot reach that. You have to take that young person to make that calculative risk. There's a difference with risk taking and calculative risk.
Indeed.
And that is where you need the both intergenerational dependency. We need each other. You need the advice, the wisdom of the older folks, and you need that same youthful exuberance of the youth. You need to give us it. They need to give young people a chance.
And I think that is a perfect note for us to close our conversation today. Viewers, this would have been a conversation today on Conversations in State with Allister Collins, who is the Executive Officer of the PYARG, which is the President's Youth Award Republic of Guyana. Thank you very much for watching. I am Malika Ramsey, and of course, this has been Conversations in State.